The second story that will be yelled in the well is from another anonymous person, and this one made me howl with laughter.
With shame.
With shame. With shameful laughter. Hey, legends, here's my contribution for John's shame well. 15 years ago... 15 years ago, whilst in the first few weeks of my first proper job, for some reason still unbeknown to me...
Oh, dear.
I told my colleagues...
Come on, John.
15 years ago, whilst in the first few weeks of my first proper job, for some reason unknown to me, I told my colleagues that my dad had a sat-nav. I'm ashamed to admit that this was a lie. I instantly started panicking that my web of deceit would become untangled and I would be exposed as a fraud. I worried so much that I gave myself a panic attack and was driven to A&E by a colleague named Lynn. Someone from the office phoned my parents and my dad was dispatched to A&E to collect me. On arrival, he apologised for being late due to getting lost. Lynn commented, "Your sat-nav up on the blink then?" My dad looks confused and replies, "Sat-nav? What sat-nav?"
Oh, my God.
Commence instant unbearable shame. Lynn gave me a funny look, quickly changing the subject, and was kind-hearted enough to never mention anything about it. I, on the other hand, tried my absolute best to never speak to Lynn again, instantly started looking for a new job, and 15 years later still think about it late at night on a regular basis during episodes of Cold Sweat and Regret.
Crikey Moses.
Oh, sorry, I lost my professional ability to broadcast.
I love the idea of... I was thinking of buying one of those new sat-navs. My dad's got one. Has he? What kind? The best kind.
I love the idea that you would instantly become racked with worry that someone would find out that your dad didn't have a sat-nav to the point at which you'd have a panic attack and go to A&E. Oh, lordy,
Such
lordy.
a funny thing to lie about, though.
Yes, that is a classic. Has
your dad got a sat-nav? Yes.
Imagine, but if you go, no, actually, it was a lie. I'm sorry, it was a lie.
Yeah, he hasn't got a sat-nav. He hasn't got a sat-nav.
Oh, thank you so much for sending that in. As a person familiar with panic, I can absolutely understand that.
That's for us. That is the perfect Shamewell email.
Yes,
because nothing bad has happened.
No.
It's not a nasty thing that person feels very guilty about. It's one of the most ridiculous. I don't even know where to start. How would you describe that? I suppose it is a falsehood, isn't it?
It's a classic Shamewell, mate.
It's a classic Shamewell.
More of those next week. Keep them coming to saturday@radiox.co.uk and please title the emails John's Shamewell.
Outside by Catfish and the Bottlemen, you're listening to Elis James and John Robbins on Radio X. I'm still reeling from John's Shamewell.
I started to stream tears down my face. I feel I let the side down somewhat.
But once you said you've got a sat-nav, or that your dad's got a sat-nav, you can't take that back.
No.
Because you were obviously lying in the first place.
But it's those tiny little lies that you use just for an easy life.
Especially in a new job.
Yeah, to join in the conversation.
Just join and say, yeah, my dad's got a sat-nav. Has he? Which kind?
Suddenly
a tom-tom.
Beset by sort of grief and shame and panic. My dad doesn't have a sat-nav.
Because you cannot take it back. Sorry, I said earlier on that my dad has a sat-nav when actually he doesn't have a sat-nav and never has had one. So why did you say he has one?
I panicked.
I panicked.
At the end of the anecdote, double back. There you go. That's for free.
Elis James and John Robbins. Radio X.